So I'm walking around Yarra Glen and there's a truck with its bonnet up, as it would be. And it happens to belong to Ross Simpson, who's had a little bit of trouble.
Only a little bit.
Only a little bit. So we're going to find out a bit more as to why and have a chat to Ross.
Yes, well, we left the yard at Bayswater to come up here yesterday and was making a considerable amount of smoke, and we found out we had a broken pushrod, so we went back and fixed that. That was at 3 o'clock. And then we proceeded out the gate yet again and found out that we had a slightly more robust problem called an injector tip that was missing. So we've just been in the throes. I'm just finishing up now on what we've done, putting the cover back on the vent pipe to stop it making a mess on the block. And basically it's pretty much ready to start. So I've basically done a quick injector swap. If you know what you're doing with these, you can pull them apart and just drop another injector in. The clearances are fairly close, so it's not going to hurt nothing. Turn the key and we can at least drive it home without looking like James Bond going down the road, which people put on Facebook last night. So I don't need to advertise, I get it done for free.
So in the interest of transparency, Ross was working on this as I walked on, and there'll be the conversation will pick up from there. But I thought I'd better do an intro, and that was this. And then we will now move to when I first walked in.
Well, I had the rocker cover off, the entertaining people.
You did.
Thank
Now you know it's going to be videoed when you fire it up again. You know that,
I thought I
don't you?
wanted to start it, just hold it flat and see how many people come running.
Doesn't it go? Hello, what's going on here?
You obviously didn't see the video of it driving in yesterday.
No, I did not. Hello, mate.
Afternoon.
How are
Is it
you?
still afternoon? No, it's morning.
Whatever.
We're going to have the work done by lunchtime, I think.
We're major
no idea what I'm doing
roadside, but it's not on the road.
Putting the stump back on the head.
So what happened?
Well, it took the tip
I'll
off.
ask, I'll ask a silly question. Which time?
It's been
Well,
two
let's keep it
episodes.
topical this time.
Well, it was sort of two at once. We've had the injector tip disappear,
Oh dear.
and we had a broken push rod on the one next to it for the injector. So we're down to 6 cylinders, but with the broken injector tip, no fuel atomisation, so we had lots of smoke. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
And
Here's a couple of special people I prepared earlier. Oh, he's over there, sorry. Turn to the
Who am I
camera.
talking to? Ross, is it?
That's me.
G'day, Ross Gurmy.
Young fella.
Nice
Good
to meet you, mate.
Good to see you. Righto. That was the upshot of the smoke yesterday. As you can see, there's no tip on there.
Yeah.
I won't make some pornographic comment about it. That's what they're supposed to look like. Like a helmet head. There's a bit of pornographic porn for Sunday morning. So if you've got that, you've got dribble and you get lots of smoke like a steam train and have the EPA chasing you.
Okay.
I've seen more LED flashed lights at me yesterday between Bayswater and here. I only seen 4 metres of smoke either side, so well, I thought it might have been the fire truck following me, but anyway. So that's what they're supposed to look like. Once they do that, they're junk. Kills it big time.
Started out as a marvellous
Any
trip.
sponsors you want me to mention?
And,
while we're on here?
and being an experienced truckie, you bring spares.
Yeah, I carried spare push rods for probably 15 years because the truck's been retired, of course, but I've carried spare push rods since I broke one years ago. But you've got to take it out the head, you've got to take the circlip out, and there's a spring holding it all in there. Well, it's all right trying to get it out, you've got nothing to screw in there to push it down to get the circlip out, so you just sort of stand back and hope you catch it when it comes whistling out past your ear hole. And it's a wire clip, so it gets bent
Right.
because it's under pressure. Then you put some parts on it and put the new one in. You can actually screw the spring down to get the circlip back in, and then take it all apart and put the thing back together, and hopefully it runs. So that's the joys of the world. So
Now, for those three uneducated people who have only just started watching Trucking with Kermie, this is an 892 Detroit.
There's a bump under each one. Now, for those that like jet coating or ceramic coating, I just had these manifolds done on this. And people don't think it's particularly good. Now, when you do the black, it goes in the oven 6 times because they do the shiny colour, the silver first, or the aluminium look.
Yeah.
And then they do the black on it, which is, as you can see, a satin finish. That coating is worth £8 a boost. just the coating. Don't worry about the wrapped up manifolds, they're worth £1 by themselves. That coating's worth £8. This truck had 22 pounds of boost above the blower. It's now got 28. Well, 22, it's now nearly 30.
Really?
Yeah, and it's picked, because you go through the blower, it heats the air up. I've got nearly 40 pounds in the airbox. So when it's going properly, it shouldn't make smoke. But even down at 1600 where it's working, it's still got over 20 pounds of boost, which it didn't have. So for $330, it's better than a cheap hooker.
I reckon.
At least you know it's going to last that way. So I better screw the rocket cover on and wake up the natives, eh?
You better do that. And we're probably at the point where I should ask you about the truck, what year it is, and etc. etc.
83, number 2 out of high mix from Sydney. Wasn't this wheelbase from new. It was only 187 day cab truck. Back in the days when 7-speed Spices were popular. 303 horsepower with a 692 in it, which I only replaced with this 3 years ago because I killed it going to Alice Springs. It dropped a rod. Didn't put it out the block, but it wasn't running very nicely. So I got given the 8, but it wasn't in the condition it's in now. So
Right.
and I've just basically done the same spec on this out on the 6. V8 Mac aftercooler, 9215 injectors in it, advanced times. It's basically a marine spec engine, so it's probably on paper around a 580 horse mark, but obviously it doesn't have the torque of a boat anchor Cummins. Did I say that come apart or something? Or if you want a Scatterpillar. Then I'll just hear people in the background, oh, it's got an oil leak and it's a Detroit. I said, well, it's only marking its territory. If you put them together properly, they don't leak.
No leaks.
So, Ross, how long have you had it?
I've had this truck since 1992. It was 9 years old when I bought it. It was on spider wheels. It's got a 4870 Atkinson front axle in it, which is 100mm wider than factory. So you've got a better turning circuit because the tyres don't drag on the drag link from the steering box. Everyone thinks it's an imported truck because of the bulkhead doors on the bunk, which is imported.
Right.
It's off a T800 because they didn't put a 42-inch bunk into production in Australia. So I'm happy that everyone knows more about the truck than I do. I find it absolutely riveting. It really impresses me. I'm just absolutely thrilled to bits that I don't know anything about my own equipment.
And particularly having the opportunity to show people the mechanical skills that you possess,
Which he does.
which he obviously
He
does.
does.
I'm a
He's good
tradesman.
mechanic.
Yeah, I figured you're more than just a dumb truckie.
Nah, no, there's some smart
Quote,
ones I'm not
unquote, I
sure
might
you're
say.
talking about, but yeah, as such. But no, it's been an interesting pastime. Well, because of COVID, it took quite a while to do it, but this has also got a cast iron sump pan off an industrial engine, which is larger capacity. It's also got steel main caps in it and a girdle on the bottom, so. I did have a 14 spice in it with the 692 I put in when I bought the truck. It had a direct 20 originally, after the 7-speed, but that was before my time, and I put a double over 18 in it on 3 9s at 2500 and overdrives 167. The engine's flighted at 25. I'm going to drive that fast.
Of course not.
It probably struggle to pull that sort of gearing anyway. They just don't make the torque the Cats and the Cummins do, so it'd be just nice to get it running properly. Well, now that it's got a bit more boost, it might be just a nice thing to drive and not be such a thirsty bugger. Well, it got sick coming back from the border. We had an exhaust leak in it. We're down to about, I don't know, 1.2 on the way home, which isn't good, not at $2 a litre.
No.
Although it's getting a bit cheaper, but anyway. Why can't you have any fun in old age, eh? Most fun you can have with your clothes on.
That's what I keep saying to my wife.
Now, what have I done?
She smiles.
Yeah.
Don't they all?
Move on.
He's a good one.
That's because the bulge in your pants is the checkbook.
Not mine.
No, mine. Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I'll get into trouble.
So you worked it for a lot of years.
Yeah, I bought it in '92 when I was on the steel at Hastings. I had an old R200 and I put a 692 in that, and it was single drive first off, 4 1s and overdrive, and then I converted it to a bogie because obviously the weight's down there, and had chassis problems. I got it re-engineered at the time to 45 tonne, which was a good reliable truck, but you know, between the back windows on a hot day was 50 degrees.
Yeah.
It was chalk and cheese to get into this. This was comfortable without the aircon, which didn't work when I bought it, but like everything else, I was happy at the time, and they're becoming very collectible, these things now, because as you can see, the beetles are eating the thing. It's got more nicotine than a box of smokes. The trouble is with the aluminium and the steel, they don't like each other, so you get corrosion and it just chews the daylights out of everything. But I've been tinkering away with it for some time when I've had the time to be able to do it, but it's basically been back in this form for basically finished the tail end of COVID, and you saw us doing the border earlier this year.
Yeah.
I was due for retina when I did that, and I went into hospital on the Wednesday, and it's going to have one eye working.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. It's no fun with just one eye sorted and the other
I've
not.
done the left lens since, and I'll go back and get the other one done in the new year, and I might be able to take these off to drive because I had to wear these when I started driving for Bill a few years ago. So,
Okay.
but like everything, we're getting there. Good to see the weather's been so nice here today.
Yeah, a bit of cloud now, which would suit you.
Yeah, it stops me getting sunburnt. Yeah, see?
Ooh.
And I spend my time in overalls.
Yeah,
now.
there's nice thin ankles. It must appeal to some
Well, don't worry, I've got
one out there.
Well, where do you find a bloke at 68 years old with calf muscles like that, eh?
Mate, look, I don't know, because I haven't really looked at that many blokes' calf muscles, to be honest.
That's just as well you're not queuing up at the toilet, isn't it?
You used to ride bikes, did you?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That's well. So I've got skinny arms for an old bloke too, and I found out I'd.
That's
sort
a
of
clutch.
inherited-
Have a look at his right leg. You know, that'll be wimpy, you see.
Who uses the clutch with a two-stroke?
Non-clutch
That
user,
too.
mate. Non-clutch
Kirby, wash
user.
your mouth there. Clutch.
Sorry, mate.
I was
Operators
not allowed
drive
to use the
without.
clutch.
I'm with you. I could never use a clutch anyway. No. I got
No, the first time
I
I
got
tried
offered a
that-
spin in a new Western Star recently, and
Right.
Yeah, it had two
And,
pedals, one
uh,
went
So
up,
if
one
they got
went down.
anything that'd be auto, eh?
I said I'm going to wear it in for you, and he said, "What?" I said, "Just take the burrs off your gearbox."
Oh, cool.
So
Sounds silly, but I did that with the Spicer first, and then it shifted beautifully. Well, it's 4.4 to 5.1's the bad gear change in them.
yeah,
Hey, Ross,
Like I knew years ago, you just slip it through, you didn't even hear it. Bang. And in the Louisville, I might add. 692.
does that phone number on the side of the truck still work? The phone number on the side of the truck still work? Still connected?
What's left of it, yeah.
Okay, that's all. I'll put that on my phone. I'll call you sometime.
Just ring me mobile number 0408. And everyone's going to ring me.
no, I won't publish that bit.
So publish
Just going to take this home and show your mates, and they're going to have a good laugh.
So what was it?
0408.
They don't go on stage with kids and pets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
What was the motor?
Well, I'm your animal.
Bunch of truckies that are pretty close third, I reckon.
471 or 461?
The conversation changes.
Oh
like that,
yeah,
right?
we'll just stand back here, Trev, and
Yeah.
let the video roll.
Yeah, exactly.
453T.
Yeah, you want it to run hard or just something to putt around?
Nah, just a putter. What's the
Right, so we're going to
turbo,
take a
is it?
short break, folks,
Got a
and
turbo
we'll be back
before
when
the
this thing
blower,
fires up.
Yeah, same as this.
All my photos on Facebook went black and white. I deliberately changed it to black and white.
Oh, yeah.
So nobody had any idea of what the colour was. And then I finally revealed it. And it had...
And that was enough fuel to get me back to Newtown.
At least now it's black, not white.
Yeah. So what do you reckon?
Bit better than it was. It'll have a whole lot of fuel in the exhaust system, so a bit of heat will get rid of it. It'll get us home, and I've only thrown it together. It hasn't been tuned properly or anything like that, because one side's a bit awkward to get apart, and I'm not going to spend all day doing a full tune up. I've got to pull one injector back out and replace it anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah.
That's the idle time it still works. So yeah, so I'm happy. It's only got to do 20 k's, and we can park it and worry about it later. So I'll get the other injector sorted out and put it back in and do a full tune on it, and hopefully it'll be right for later on for a bit of reliability.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Carry a few more push rods. Thanks for being here, Kermie.
Good on you,
Great
Ross.
to see you.
Good to talk to you,
Hope
mate.
you guys enjoy the podcast. bit of Aussie dribble.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks again. Who knows what's in it?
Alright, so